So, hello and welcome to episode 14 of the Part-Time Players podcast. This is the casual gaming podcast where two pals discuss video games and everything the latest news, topics, hot things, If this sounds actually interesting to you, obviously like and subscribe to the podcast on any platform of your choosing. We're pretty much on everything now. My name, as always, is Reese Lackland, and I am joined also, as always, by Brad. How you doing today, Brad?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, you? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Yeah.
I feel like I should mix up my response every week. It's the same. It's like, yeah, I'm good. You?
Well, it's not a bad response. To be fair.
I know, but
you're saying yes,
Yeah. I might just start grunting, maybe. Just like, no.
No, give a full, confirmation. I'm sure the listeners are quite concerned each week to make sure they check in. That's why they come in. They literally only listen to like the first minute. Yeah, just to make sure you're okay, and then I jump out again.
Well, I think as well, because sometimes I could come across as the negative one on a podcast. So,
it's just your opinion.
Yeah.
I don't think you've come across as negative about anything other than maybe The Last of Us, maybe?
Yeah, The Last of Us, yeah.
Other than that. But I still kind of think one day you'll look back and actually think, it was actually a really good story. The fact that it made you feel them kind of emotions, like to me, if it's a bad story, it means it wouldn't make you feel anything. And the fact that you feel so passionately that you hate Abby, it is proof that it's a good story. What video game actually makes you feel that way? Like I've never experienced any video game that actually made me feel them kind of emotions. I feel like I cried at one point. I think I did. Like honestly, it was just like I'm not a cryy person. I don't think I cried in any film, but that game actually made me cry.
Yeah, I cried when I realised you had to carry on playing for like another 2 hours at the end. So,
All right, fair enough. Let's move on to exciting, action-packed episode. Well, a little bit of inside. We're actually changed our recording time, and I think we're going to change our posting time. So we normally post it on Wednesdays. So you're going to probably notice that this episode has gone up early. We're thinking about putting it up on maybe a Monday, and basically, the kind of idea behind this was that we're just going to cover the previous week's news, cover it on the Sunday, post it the next day, and it's a little bit more of an immediate hot take. But
we say it's going to be up Monday. It may be Tuesday, but we're going to aim for Monday. So
yeah, it'll be up on Monday.
Yeah, and then we won't change it again. So just. All our listeners, we're obviously, hopefully, if you're subscribed, you'll get a notification when the episodes go up. So, just carry on subscribing and downloading. We appreciate it, as we say every week. So,
yeah, we definitely do. Yeah. And we can't wait to obviously unpack all the stuff that we've got this episode. Obviously, Xbox centric. Obviously, we're very much Xbox fanboys these days because pretty much every other episode is about the Xbox.
Yep.
Obviously, with the news breaking yesterday about the event on Wednesday for the PS5, so I'm very excited for that. So, obviously, next week we'll be definitely covering that. But talking about the PS5, a game that I believe is probably going to be coming day one on the PS5 was Kenna Bridge of Spirits.
Yep.
And Game Informer did this whole article about it, about the art style and how good the game looks, and they were talking about obviously the difference between the PS4 and PS5 version. I'm actually kind of feel like this is kind of like a little silent, kind of going to be like a really good game, but no one's actually talking about it. So I remember, obviously, we watched the PS5 event. Was it June, July? I can't remember now when they revealed it, and obviously there were so many big games that got shown. Obviously, Spider-Man, I think, and Horizon were the big standout ones for me personally. But this one also stood out, like.
And Bugsnax.
Is that Bugsnax? Is that the one that you can't wait for?
Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah.
You're going to get your a limited edition PS5 for Bugsnax.
Bugsnax, yeah.
That's what you're waiting for.
Yeah, that just constantly plays the song over and over again, even when it's off.
Yeah. But I don't know. What's your thoughts on the game? Do you remember? Do you think it's going to be good or?
It looks quite good. It reminds me of a launch title that was on the original Xbox, Cameo. I don't know. It just kind of got like the same
Cameo.
vibes.
I don't know.
Not the Xbox. Sorry, the 360. It was on the 360. Yeah, I think it was a launch title. Yeah, that was looked like some sort of fantasy platformer. So it did look good. You've got a suspicion why it could be delayed, don't you?
Yeah, so I think it was, I can't remember what day it was now. When did that break, the news break for it being delayed? Basically, I believe it was the day after. So, the 11th. So that was basically the day after Zelda, Hyrule Warriors got announced.
Okay, yeah.
And they just kind of came out and said, due to COVID, obviously it's the usual thing, is that they just couldn't quite make it as their original release date. Obviously, there was no release date that they never revealed. That was obviously because it's coming with the PS5. It's going to be on launch day. There's quite a few games that have no release date. Obviously, Spider-Man, Demon Souls remake, and this one, and Bugsnax, and all these games that were at that event. None of them have release dates.
Yeah,
it's obvious because it's the PS5 release date is the day they're coming out, so they've not said anything. And Hyrule Warriors is coming out on the 20th of November. So given it's a cartoony style, very similar to Zelda, you've got the bow and arrow, you've got some kind of staff. It seems like it's a bit magical, blah, blah, blah. It's that cartoony style.
Yeah.
I probably think it might be a direct competition, and obviously Zelda's such a big name.
Yeah.
They probably just thought, you know what, let's just delay it. And I think, regardless of whatever reason they've actually really delayed it for, I think it's a brilliant move. That week, there's just too many games, and I think it would have been drowned out anyway, like by the big games coming on launch, and you've got Cyberpunk that week, and Zelda, and Assassin's Creed before it, and it's going to just get sandwiched by such big names.
Yeah, it's only
coming out in Q1 is such a smart move. I think that's a really good choice for them.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, and obviously we're going to go on to it. We've got the event, the PlayStation event coming up, so it says actually on there that they're going to be talking about launch games. So a lot of those games are probably going to get release dates. Even if not at launch, we're going to find out when they are, coming out, because it says launch date and beyond. So, maybe get an actual date for it, not just Q1. So, you never know.
Yeah.
And you're talking about Hyrule Warriors. I never played the other. The other one was called the Hyrule Warriors as well, wasn't it? On the Switch. Yeah, I've never played it. I know there's
which was Wii U. It was
oh, okay. Was it a Wii U
from
game?
Wii U? Yeah, it was a Wii U game.
I never played it. I know it's like Dynasty Warriors. I never really played that either. Don't know. Didn't really see my kind of game. But I remember we was talking about this, and you said it's actually set 100 years before Breath of the Wild, so you kind of see what happens during the Great Calamity, which caused Link to be, asleep, and what happened to everyone, and how they got corrupted, all the divine beasts and whatnot. So it actually does sound like a really good game, just for the backstory, really. Just like,
exactly.
Kind of a prequel. All the characters, from Breath of the Wild. So it actually sounds like a really good game.
Yeah,
so definitely more interested now. The release date is terrible because, like you said, there's so much stuff coming out, and at the end, it's kind of like a massive roadblock at the end of November, which is Cyberpunk. So it's kind of it's like a funnel. It's all funneling down, and it's just gonna
I feel the same as you. But I have played Hyrule Warriors, and it's good. It's just it's just a silly button mashy action game. There's so many enemies on the screen, and you're like overpowered, and you just killing, like fighting all these enemies, and it's quite fun to play. So I know this is going to be fun, and obviously with the story added to it as well, and the cartoony story looks like Breath of the Wild and things like that. I think it's going to be great. It's just so unfortunate with the release date. I know why Nintendo are doing it. They're flexing their muscles. Right, here we go. Let's put something to do with Breath of the Wild right with the PS5. It's kind of the middle finger to Sony, I feel like. It's like, there you go.
And like literally, like this and the Xbox stuff got announced like after we recorded last week. I think we recorded on the Monday, and then this all started coming out on like the Tuesday and the Wednesday. And we just completely, we kept saying one of them's going to announce some stuff this week, and it was just after we recorded. So I'm actually really I'm looking forward to Hyrule Warriors. Again, whether it be on the buy list, I don't know, because there's just going to be so much coming out, and Yeah,
it's definitely on my buy list. Whether or not it's just day one.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't know when. Yeah, so I'd get it, but I don't know. Yeah, like you say, if it's going to be.
I don't think it's not going to be day one for me, because I think, well, not going into one of our stories later on with the PS5, but the PS5 is coming out either that day, I feel, or around them, like, or within 3 days of that game.
Yeah.
Or let's be like, it's definitely coming out within a week of that game. And yeah, with a new console, all them games on it, I know I'm just going to be wanting to play that rather than playing a Zelda game on the Switch. You've got a new toy, you just want to play with that. So yeah, I just know personally, I just won't be playing it day one, but I will pick it up at one point.
Yeah.
They're going to sell loads. This game is just going to, because it's connected to Breath of the Wild, and because Nintendo, they just sell so much. Like, they're mental how much the money they're making from their games.
Exactly.
This game it's probably going to be, I wouldn't be surprised if this game is the best-selling game in 2020.
You reckon?
Would you be surprised? Like, Animal Crossing, like, Animal Crossing, like, this is a lot bigger than Animal Crossing. And look how big Animal Crossing is. This is Zelda, and it's a prequel to Breath of the Wild. They're arguably their best game of all time.
That's what got me. If it wasn't that, I would think, oh no, I'm not interested in it all really. But because it's a prequel to Breath of the Wild, I was like, it piqued my interest.
It's going to sell loads.
We should say, sorry, just backtrack a little bit about the Kenna Bridge of Spirits. They says it's been delayed due to, I don't know if you mentioned this, due to having to work from home due to the pandemic.
COVID, yeah.
Yeah, so, okay, sorry. But yeah, no, definitely excited for Hyrule Warriors, but like you say, probably won't be a day one for me.
Yeah, same.
Maybe I'll get someone to buy it for me for Christmas or something. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Christmas, maybe December. I might pick up in December, maybe.
Yeah.
But are you still going to be playing Cyberpunk then, maybe?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Yeah, forever.
Yeah. I just have to book like 4 weeks off work. I'll just be like, can I just have all my holiday in one go, please? And then just,
Yeah. So, I don't know, like with COVID and stuff and Christmas, and what I'm going to be doing with in terms of like returning back to Essex for Christmas. Yeah, so that is a great game to buy for my journey home. Like, sat on the train, 2-hour journey, buy that, Switch, perfect. Yeah, it's a perfect travel game.
It is. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. We don't know, do we? What's going to be happening at Christmas due to the pandemic? As restrictions over here have got more severe now. So I had a nice Halloween party that was lined up, but doesn't look like that's going to happen now. So. Oh really?
Okay.
Yeah. It's
fancy dress? Was it fancy dress?
It was going to be a full fancy dress Halloween party. Yeah, and obviously we can only have 6 people in the house. It doesn't look like it's going to be allowed.
Only 4 people going to turn up anyway, wasn't it?
Yeah. I wasn't hosting it. I was going to it. So.
Okay.
But, disappointing.
That makes more sense now. Yeah.
But you never know. It might change. Yeah. This bloody pandemic, ruining everything.
It is indeed.
Yeah.
Next news story. Which one? Should we go Ubisoft, PlayStation?
I'd say go to PlayStation, maybe.
PlayStation, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So PlayStation Sony finally confirmed they're going to do a showcase on Wednesday, September the 16th. Which is clearly going to reveal the price and date.
Well, we hope, because I looked at the release. It didn't say anything about the console. It just said about games. So,
okay. Well, this is a good segue because we actually had a question.
Yeah, we do.
So Joe, who DM'd us on Twitter. By the way, if you want to do that, it's PTPlayerspod on Twitter. Mm-hmm. If you obviously have any questions you ever want to talk about, games, not games. We're open to anything, but basically Joe's question was, now we have the price and date for the Xbox, what will the PS5 price be? Now, before you answer this, Brad, we did put a little article in there from, I believe, Games Radar, who basically listed the pricing of every PlayStation that's ever been released. So the PS5, not PS5, sorry. The original PlayStation, which got released in 1995, was $299, which seems really cheap. The PS2, which was released in 2000, was really poorly for this article. That doesn't give us no price on that.
Yeah, I was about to say there's no price for that one. So
okay, well that one that ruined the whole thing. So we'll move on to the PS3. I don't know if you want to look up what the PS2 was while I'm doing this. PS3 was $499. The PS4 originally was also, once again, terrible. It's not giving us the price. Well, that was good. I thought they said let's do the pricing. 2 out of 4.
Yeah, 2 out of 4 ain't bad.
Yeah. Well, okay.
It was so the PS2 was it says here $299 and £299 in UK, which doesn't make any sense because
they're trying to rip us off. Yeah. Okay, same price. They stayed the same. PS1 and 2 were the same. It went up to $500 for the PS3,
which I bought on launch. When I had a lot more disposable income back in the day.
And I feel like the PS4 was $399.
I'm just looking now as well. Yeah,
because I think the Xbox, because they had the connected, was $499.
So the PS4 says here. Sorry to cut you off there. Okay. It said it was $399. Yeah. So I imagine that's USD and $350 GBP. So UK £300. Yeah. And in Australia, AUD, Australian dollar, it was $599. So.
Yeah, their money, their currency is crazy. Like their games are like well over $100.
Yeah, I think they're like
$100 and things like that each game. It's like, wow, it's crazy. Some of these currencies of how some like their money's worth and things. It's like I don't know. Yeah. You like convert like our British pounds into like I don't know. I can't remember what it's called, what their currency is called now. But it was basically in Thailand. Because I was watching this like documentary about this guy that had like he owned his own like coffee farm, and it was like he holds family like works on his coffee farm, and they deliver these bags and bags of coffee to like this factory to like sell kind of thing, and then they like gave him like I don't know 24 grand in like his money, and then I went on Google and converted it, and it was like £1.20.
Yes,
it was like wow.
Yeah, some of the conversion rates. Like, that's like in obviously in Prague, they're not on the euro; they have their own currency, krona, and it's one of those ones where we went to McDonald's and they're like, okay, yeah, that's 500 krona. It's like shit, what
500 krona for Jesus?
Yeah, they don't have pence, so it's nothing. It's not like $29.99. They don't have that. It's just
really okay.
Yeah, it's just that. Yeah, but obviously it all works out.
They don't have euros. I would have thought they would have euros.
The Czech Republic or Czechia, I think it's known as now. Don't have euro. Okay. Nor does Sweden. Sweden don't have euro.
Did I not? Okay.
No, they had Swedish krona.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. Do you know why that is, Mr. International Currency?
I don't know why, but I know this because obviously my job. But yeah, I don't know why they're not in the euro. But,
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's kind of like us.
Yeah, for anybody that doesn't know, Brad is a international thief. He goes around. Heist. He robs like big heist banks and things, and he's the man. Like when you see the movie, and you got the guy that's in the black van, like outside, like the tech guy going, just taking down like security walls and breaking down, and
No, my job's a lot more boring, and it's quite boring compared to that. But but I do know international currency codes, so there's always
okay. No.
There's always one.
You also know Jason Bourne as well, don't you?
Yeah, we're good mates. Definitely. Yeah, me and Jace. I call him Jace. I don't even. I just call him Jace.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just calling him Bourne.
And then
JB,
go out and
you call him JB.
Yeah, he goes out, he kills someone with a magazine. And it's like, not again. Come on. It's but yeah, I got a bit off track then, but yeah, it's
where were we? I don't even know where we were.
Yeah, PlayStation 5 price. So,
Joe's question. Yeah,
I think. In answer to Joe's question, it will be around about. I think we talked about it in a week, didn't we? The digital one, so the discless one, will be around about the same price as what the PS4 was when it came out, and the disc drive one will be about 5, I think.
Okay, so you think the discless is going to be $399?
Well, no, I'd say the discless would be about between $399 to $4.
Are we doing this in dollars?
No, we do it in pounds. We do it in pounds.
We're doing it in pounds. Okay.
So £450, and I'd say £500. That's what I'd.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Okay. In pound. Okay. And to expand on it, what's the date as well? So what date is the release date?
In conjunction with this question, we've actually we've got another article. So on Amazon.co.uk, they've got listings for hanging wall mounts, so you can put your PlayStation 5 on the wall, and they're pre-order, and they say they're going to get released on the 19th of November. So if that's, it could point towards a 19th, 20th release. So
who wants that displayed on their wall?
I wouldn't put it on my wall, to be honest. I suppose if you've got limited, a lot of really, if your TV's on a wall and you haven't got like a TV unit, you stick your PlayStation, or it makes sense having to put a shelf up.
Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about the size of it. I'm a little bit concerned because obviously there's like an IGN article that we'll talk about a little bit later on, which is showing pictures of the actual Xbox Series X. Yeah. And it is tanky.
It's a beast.
It is beast. And I'm like, I'm looking at my TV unit thinking, there's no way that would fit in.
No.
That actually wouldn't fit in my TV. I don't know where I would put that.
So you'd have to get an S, see? You'd have to get an S.
I would, yeah, that's the only one. Well, I wouldn't because it's not worth the upgrade for me. But yeah, I hope the PS5 is, I imagine it's going to be really long. Like, I imagine things are going to be, I don't know. Yeah, it's the worst comes worse. You have to be stood up behind my TV.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I had to do for my PS4 when I moved. Yeah, like stand behind. Yeah, I actually bought a little stand for it. So a little clipped in. We also have another question. So did you think that answered Joe's question? Did you give your predictions on the price?
No, I haven't, mate. No.
Oh, okay.
I thought you was going to say the date.
I did say the date, 19th or 20th of November.
Okay, is that your event? Yeah. Okay, I'm committed. Okay. So I think the disc version will be $449, as in it will be $499, the same as Xbox Series X. I think that's going to match. Yeah. And they're going to be the same price. Yeah. Which then I think the without disc will be £50 cheaper. And then we'll end up being $399.
Right. Okay. So another question on top of the one we've got: do you think they're both going to have the same storage? Because obviously the S has got less storage than the X because it's cheaper as well. But do you think they'll both come out with the same storage?
Yes, I think they'll both have a terabyte.
Okay.
And I think they have to have a terabyte. I don't think you can release a console in 2020 with digital being the mains. Like most people buying digital now. I think COVID was the little switch over that digital needed to really accelerate it. And it's a question later on about the Series S and the
I was going to say we'll get into it later on.
But my release date prediction.
Oh yeah, go on.
Is I agree with you. It's going to be the 20th or the 19th. It could even be the 18th. It's one of them 3 days. And I've also got a prediction about the pre-orders, which I'm going to save for when we talk about the Xbox, because I think that's the one mistake Microsoft has made, a big mistake as well. And not that I hope, obviously I've got no stakes in it, but I kind of hope that Sony capitalize on this mistake.
Yeah.
But I'll save that for when we talk about the Xbox.
Okay. So talking about questions for PlayStation, I've actually got a question as well. We've got another question. This time it was via our Gmail. So PTPlayerspod@gmail.com.
Okay.
And it's from, let's have a look here. It's from Nicole. And she asked, although it's been reported that the increase in production for the PS5, so I think we mentioned they said they was going to go up to 10 million units. Do you still think there'll be issues in availability on release?
Potentially.
Great question, by the way. good.
Yeah, no, it's a very good question. It's a tricky one. It's hard to tell, isn't it? Because you're trying to predict the future. You don't know. I think there will definitely be a demand. I think it's going to be similar to what the Switch was. And I think Sony and obviously Microsoft and all these kind of companies like that now. I feel like Apple are starting to do it as well with like the iPhone and certain like Apple products where it's like they only put a certain amount out and then it becomes limited.
Frozen a little bit.
Oh.
It kind of Zoom kind of shit itself there a little bit, and I don't know if I don't know. Heard that.
Maybe. Well, we'll continue on. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll edit that little silence out.
I can't remember what I was saying now.
You saying about Apple and what Apple doing their pre-orders and.
Oh yeah, so I feel like they will want the demand because I feel like it's just a marketing strategy. Normally,
the scarcity makes it more.
Desirable, desirable. When you can't have it, you then want it. It's just playing with the psychology of people. You just want it. It's a bit like you when you were talking about you wanting the Series S, and it's like I said to you, there's literally you're paying all that money. You're paying £300 for 30 extra frames, and you probably don't even have the TV that could even do that either.
I don't. So
you're literally, and it's just because I want the new thing. It's just the, I don't know, just us really. But
I suppose if if you sell your old console and then put it towards a new one, it kind of takes a little bit of the cost down. But I totally got what you meant. But back to the question, I do think there's going to be issues. Like you say, scarcity makes people want it more desirable. I think if you don't get your pre-order in soon enough, it will just you won't be able to get one. I think I mentioned before when I was working a shop, we had like 15 delivered in I think it was in December. So for the PS4, we had 15 delivered, and they obviously just went straight away. And after that, it was quite tough to get hold of one. So I think in answer to Nicole's question, if you want one, I'd get your pre-order in just to play your card safe, just to guarantee you're going to get one on launch if you want one. For me, I don't necessarily want one on launch, so I don't mind waiting till early next year to grab one.
Yep.
I
think it was similar to PS4 if I remember rightly, because I remember getting my PS4. So the PS4 came out in November as well, I believe. End of November.
Yeah.
I got mine in February because my birthday's in February and I got some birthday money and it was the last thing I needed just to get it. And then it was like, right, I've got the money now. Let's go buy a PS4. And it was like, even in February, it was like everywhere was sold out.
Yeah.
I was online trying to look. And then I actually called my local Sainsbury's, which is only a tiny Sainsbury's. And like I lived in a kind of like quite a small like town in Essex. And it's kind of small like supermarket. And I just called them and then they said, we've got one in the back. Yeah. And I was like, please, can you reserve that for me? And they said, we can, but we can only hold it for like 15 minutes. I'd only lived around the corner, I don't know if you remember, like when Sainsbury's was. There. I literally, quite annoyingly, my as I was going out the door, I was putting on my trainers and then my ex-girlfriend turned up.
Okay, yeah.
And she's like, what we do today? I was like, move out the way, bitch.
We're going to go get a PlayStation.
Yeah. She was like, oh, no, let me come with you. I'll go Sainsbury's with you. And then she was like, she just wanted to have like a stroll on the day out. And I was just like, oh, God, this is...
Yeah, we need to hurry.
Like, you don't realise this is like really important that we get moving. And she was...
See, my brother got one for his birthday and his birthday's on New Year's Day. But obviously my mum got it. She bought it for him because he's 21st. She got it early, but the only reason he got one then is because I worked on that department. So they come in and I just stashed them. I stashed them for people. I think, like I said before, like 3 or 4 got sold to the public. The rest the staff had. So that's why you can't get them, because people are just taking the staff are buying them. Yeah. I think if you want one, pre-order it now. Well, when they release the pre-orders.
Although you might be better waiting, because I didn't wait for my PS Pro. I've got like the Mark 1, and I don't know if you're aware what the first version of the PS4 Pro is. The ventilation is absolutely shocking.
Oh, is it bad? It's worse than the actual original PS4.
Yeah, loads worse. It is so loud. Like I can't play without a headset.
You'd think that it would.
I can't hear the TV. It's like a I don't know, like a leaf. It's like it as soon as I start any game with like that's in 4K, HDR, whatever, it just goes off. It just takes off. It's like a jet engine. It is shocking. So it might be best waiting. It might be best waiting because of that.
Yeah, I've got the original PS4 still, which I've had. Admittedly, I got it a year after it came out, so I got mine in 2014 Christmas. But yeah, it's I took it apart and got all the dust out, and it runs a lot quieter now. But yeah, I didn't get the Pro one. You'd expect the Pro to be better.
Apparently they've released 4 versions of it, and each time the ventilation's got better, and to the point where I think the 4th version is actually like silent. Like they fixed it. Yeah. It was just I don't know what technology I don't know. I'm not a mechanic or whatever, like technical with all these things, but for whatever reason, it was clearly a massive oversight because it's clearly just overheating. And that's why I think all these like holes in like the Series S and on top of the Xbox Series X and obviously the PS5 with the weird design is all built just for cooling. Because they're just really scared that we're going to go back to the 360 when we had the Ring of Death with overheating. So
and you expect to like wrap it in a towel and like overheat it, and then it would fix it, but it'd only fix it for like a few hours or something, and then it would just break again. Yeah, I had one of my 360s had the red ring.
Oh, really? Okay.
I had a 360 Elite years ago. I had a normal one, then I got an Elite, and it had the red ring of death, and then but it was under warranty, so I just got a new one.
Sure.
But that was kind of an issue with the
was Microsoft like that? If you got the red ring, would they just replace it? Or?
For a while, yeah, they was, but mine was with like the shop I bought it from, so I got mine from Game. No, actually, I got it from Game Station, so I just took it in there, I had the warranty. Okay, and I was like, this has happened, and they just give me a new one. So
nice.
Yeah, but yeah, no, looking forward to the. There's two good. It's good to see that we're getting some questions now from some listeners, which is.
Definitely, yeah.
Please, it's always nice. So and I think we've got a few more later on as well. So it's been
it's very positive.
I think maybe the announcements have made people, like actually, let's get these two guys. They seem to know what they're talking about. Let's get their opinions.
Exactly. Let's get their opinions and stuff. But if you do want to obviously write in yourself, obviously you can DM us at PTPlayerspod, like I said earlier, on Twitter, and our Gmail is it part-time?
PTPlayerspod@gmail.com.
Okay, that's perfect. Yeah, please. Write in with any questions.
Yeah.
We'll go on to the next topic, or the news article, and that was Ubisoft. Yeah.
It's kind of forgot about that after all the other news has come out.
I know, it's kind of like been overshadowed, hasn't it? Because there's been so much this week. It's quite incredible. So do you want to kick it off? We're going through the article, or shall I?
Yeah, I can kick it off. So it started with Immortals Phoenix Rising, a little walkthrough. Bit more of a look at the game. Obviously, originally called Gods and Monsters. It was called.
Yep, it's gone from a terrible name to an absolute tragic, awful name.
It's called. It's kind of
Could you think of a game that is actually named worse than that?
Well, I said before Horizon Zero Dawn, because those 3 words together, kind of before it came out, was a bit bland, but. Together, knowing the game, what the game is now, it's quite good. And there's another one.
Horizon Zero Dawn is poor.
Oh, actually,
Horizon, and then go on. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I've got a better one that is a really crap name. Spec Ops: The Line. So that was
that's not a good. Yeah,
quite a good game.
Yeah, that is a really bad name, but Immortals Phoenix, right? Wow, that name is shocking, and the way they spell Phoenix is really annoying me with the F.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Just the whole the thing. It just got They should have just stuck with Gods and Monsters.
Yeah, so it was basically a little walk through that, based around Greek mythology, and kind of looks a bit like Zelda, and like
with the cartoon story. I think it looks quite cool, like the actual style.
And all the obviously the mythical monsters and creatures.
Yep.
So it looks quite good, and it's coming out on December the 3rd again. Right in the middle of a very hectic. I know they're doing it. They're pushing them all out because of Christmas and holidays. So
sure, yeah.
The holiday season, American Christmas here. So they're just trying to get as many games out, because I think that's when a lot of sales are made in it. So
traditionally, I don't think it matters as much these days.
No. We'll
But
fall
clearly,
like
I think they've clearly at Ubisoft, they've clearly said to their investors that we're going to release, I don't know, 6 or 7 games within the next financial year, because every month they've got a game coming out, as we're going to reveal. But it's a bad date. If you're going to if you have to release a game every month, the 3rd of December, just push it. I don't know, even like a week. Like, just put it to the 14th, or I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, just push it like a little bit further away from that end of that November period, because you got a Zelda game which clearly is going to look very similar to it on the 20th. You got Cyberpunk coming just before it. You got the other big names, like probably the biggest Ubisoft game, arguably, is Assassin's Creed, and that's coming out the month before. So yeah, we'll see. It looks interesting, but it's just going to be probably saturated by so many things. But
I know the next one is what you was hoping for.
Oh yes.
So I know it doesn't look as good as everyone. All the memes have started, so they've kind of been, there's memes of like the Halo brute on the Prince of Persia's body, and that they've already started. Because I'd say the next one was Prince of Persia: Sands of Time.
I thought you wasn't going to say what it is.
So they can figure it out. So Sands of Time remake, and it looked pretty crap. So it looked like a 2010 game. Really, it's kind of it didn't look great, did it?
It didn't. As soon as they said Prince of Persia remake, Sands of Time, it's perfect. They said they rebuilt it from the ground up. Really? Have they?
Yeah.
It looks more. It looks more like a remaster. Like, I spoke to my friend about it, and he said, "No, you don't actually clearly remember what a PS2 and PS3 games actually look like. This looks a lot better." And I'm like, "Does it?" It doesn't look like, because I'm comparing it to. We've had remakes, as in we've got Mafia that's coming out at the end of this month, which looks fantastic. We've got Demon Souls, which was a remake, which looks fantastic. We had Ratchet and Clank. We've had Crash. We've had Spyro. We've had, I don't know, there's many more. Not The Last Guardian. What's the other one? Shadow of the Colossus. We've had some Final Fantasy remake, which is one of the best looking PS4 games I've ever seen. It's incredible. And there's probably many more that I've not mentioned. But that is just not on the same level as any of them that I've just mentioned.
Yeah, no.
I think that's a little bit unacceptable.
Yeah. I've never played the first one, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think I might have played a little bit, but I never completed
great
it.
PS2 game.
Yeah, never.
And then, I found out the PS2 for some strange reason, but PS2.
Yeah. No, I like the PS2. I'm just saying I think I prefer the Xbox.
All right, well, you don't like what, Metal Gear, the GTA games.
The best Metal Gear was on the PS1. So
okay, well, Metal Gear 2 was decent. No. The original God of War came out on the PS2. The original God of War on PS2, I think it was.
Yeah,
Jack and Daxter.
God of War. Yeah, Jack and Daxter was one of my favourite PS2 games of all time.
Yeah,
I'm saying I was a fan. I'm a fan. I just like the Xbox as well.
Great console, mate. I'm just saying. Right?
Yeah. Snake Eater. I know everyone loves Snake Eater, but I'd never really. I didn't think it was that great, really.
Snake Eater.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 3.
Metal Gear. Okay. Yeah. I've never played that one.
Yeah, it's probably get shit for that, but I don't think it was that great. Best Metal Gear Solid game is Metal Gear Solid 1, hands down. Loved it.
I would say that could possibly get a remake, but Kamani clearly are in no appetite to bring back the old franchises, which is a little bit of a shame. But
it did get it got a remake on the GameCube, Twin Snakes, which was okay. Yeah, so that was I think it was around the time
a proper full remake on PS5 and Series X.
I'd love that. I would love that. Yeah,
loads of people would. That would just sell loads. So it's an easy money maker.
I always wanted to get a Metal Gear Rex statue, kind of thing, but I never got around to getting one. It's quite expensive and hard to come by. Big fan. Love it.
Yeah, probably what we're going to see in the next generation, like we saw in this generation, is the PS1, PS2, the classic games that everybody loves. Just see them have a remake of them.
Yeah.
I'm not, because I never played it. I was a little bit too young, but obviously the Final Fantasy VII, I really kind of wish I was a fan of it, because I've played the remake and never played the original. I kind of really wish I had that nostalgia as well, because it must be absolutely incredible, because that game, visually, like I said earlier, is one of the best like going from a PS1 game to this absolutely stunning game, and it's really good combat. It's really fun, and kind of goes into depth with some of the characters, and the story is really good. Obviously, what it's known for, and
it's not the full game though, is it? It's only part of.
Yeah, it's just I think it's like the quarter, so it's going to be like, but it's going to be in like 4 parts because it's such a big game. But I would rather the way they fleshed out is so good. It's you should play it, mate. It's really good.
Yeah, I will do. I'll get around to it. So the next one they show. This was at the end of the thingy, but it's the next one in this article.
Yep.
It's Riders Republic. So it's a extreme sports massive multiplayer game from the creators of Steep, and it's all just kind of adrenaline junkie sports like BMXing. Skiing, snowboarding, what's the one where like the flight suits, whatever, like paragliding, and I don't know what it's called, paragliding or not, but
yeah, I think it's paragliding.
So it's all like that, really. Yeah, so not my kind of game. I'd never played Steep. It was on PSN and I didn't download it. So yeah, this isn't for me. But I know there's a market out there. People used to love like all the SXX games, like the snowboarding games, and those kind of things. So they must think there's a market for it if they're gonna, bring it out. And that comes out next year, 25th of February for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series XS, Google Stadia, which is and PC. So also everything.
I know we haven't got that written. When does Far Cry come out? 18th of February?
18th or 19th of February, I think it is. Yeah, or 21st actually. I think it's the 21st.
It's really close to that day. I know it's close to that day. It's like the end of February. What's again, Ubisoft? What's with this date?
Yeah, exactly. 18th of February. Yeah,
it is the 18th.
Yeah.
I know it's like a week, but Jesus, like you got a whole year, and you decided to bring out one of your big, and then this new IP you bring out a week after.
Yeah,
is this not going to be like what EA? No, remember when EA brought out like Titanfall like a week after Battlefield or something like?
Yeah, no, yeah, and then Titanfall suffered for it.
Yeah, it's like, come on, EA, like you just crippled a new it was the second one, but do you know what I mean? Like Battlefield and Call of Duty, I think they sandwiched it in between those two, and it was just like, wow, that was just a really, once again, give it a chance, release it in a window where you're not literally releasing a big.
Yeah,
your own game as well. Your own games.
Just spread it out a little bit. Come on, yeah. It's just like people as well. Like now, especially now, a lot of people are financially strapped due to furlough, and that's going to end soon. And obviously, people losing their jobs and that. Just people ain't going to have that much money to go out and spend on this many
maybe they think
games.
It's for different people. Maybe the people that are buying Far Cry are not going to buy this.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I would buy Far Cry, but I wouldn't buy this. So.
Okay, yeah, and maybe people that will buy this won't buy Far Cry. So yeah, maybe they think it's got a completely different audience. So coming out a week apart, it makes no difference. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't have said it's got a big audience. Maybe it does. Apparently, loads of people are really into Tony Hawk. Obviously, the remake of that. And that's another remake, isn't it? So, which everybody's really like happy about. So, I guess I know that's skateboarding, but still extreme sports, isn't it? So, clearly, there might be a little bit of an audience. And if it's like a battle royale thing, maybe people will be into it. The only problem, I think, the only reason why I like Fall Guys and things like that, I'm not saying the only reason, it's generally a good game and it's fun, is that at launch it was free. And I think that same with like Fortnite and things like that, them kind of games that really take off, it's that model, it being free to play, you get people in, and then there's like some kind of battle pass, and you can they make money through like cosmetics and things like that. If this game was free to play and they had like a battle pass system and you had different like outfits, helmets, blah, 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 I think it might do really well, but it's not. It's a £60 game. So I saw it yesterday on the PS Store. So for that reason, I feel like it's going to be a bit like Steep, and it's just going to go down a hill very, very quickly and crash. Yeah.
We should have mentioned when we were talking about Prince Persia, it's not coming out on the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. It's only on current gen. So we was thinking then, is it going to be backwards compatible for the new consoles? So, because I know you'd want to play it. Obviously, you're going to want to play it on your PS5. So, yeah, it didn't mention that though, did it? It just said coming out to current gen consoles.
Yeah, it comes out. I don't know if you said that before as well. It comes out on the 21st of January.
Yeah, 21st January. Yeah.
So it comes out next year after both consoles launches, and it's not listed for the new consoles. That's very, very odd. I don't even know what to say. I'm like, I don't know. I'm stunned by how poor it looks, and then I'm odd that it's only current gen.
Yeah.
Like, considering it's a remake, maybe there's some kind of thing with architecture, but you wouldn't think so because apparently all PS4 games are backwards compatible with a PS5. And obviously the Series X, all Xbox One games can be on the Series X. Or Series S, whatever. The Series 1, the Series consoles and the One consoles, they all can be played cross. So to me, because of the architecture of that, means you will be able to play it on the next gen.
Yeah.
But it's clearly not going to look any better. But then I wouldn't have expected it to look any better anyway. Do you know what I mean? Because it's a remake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
know
what you mean. You wouldn't, it wouldn't, upscale it. But odd that they didn't mention it. Maybe obviously they're going to have to release more news about it, so we'll find out then. But the next one, we'll just go through the games that I was at the Ubisoft Forward. So next one is Scott Pilgrim versus the World game.
Before we move on.
No, it's too late now. It's too late. I'm sorry.
I have one more thing to say about it. The only thing I can think of is that it might be at the PS5 event. And they got some thing to reveal. And it actually looks incredible on the PS5. Like,
I think you're grasping.
Am I dreaming now?
I think you're grasping, yeah.
Yeah, I am. But I was like
me in the Mass Effect remake.
Yeah, no, it's too strange. How can it not be on the PS5?
I don't know.
It's gonna be there Wednesday. It's gonna look incredible. Yeah. It's gonna be like, it's going to look absolutely amazing. Watch it.
We'll come back next week and we'll see if that happens.
I won't turn up next week because I'll be still crying.
So we've got Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game.
Okay.
Never read the comic. Watched the film. It was all right.
It was great. I thought the film was really good.
Yeah. It's out this holiday season for Switch, Xbox One and PS4, PC and Stadia. And it's like a beat 'em up. I think it's kind of like a brawler, is it?
It's a side scroller, isn't it?
So not really much more to say about that one.
Who directed the movie? Do you know?
Was it a guy who done? It's the guy who done Hot Fuzz and Baby Driver?
Was it?
Yeah, I can't remember what his name is. I'm pretty sure it was him.
Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright.
Yeah.
Edgar Wright, yeah. That's right, yeah. Yeah, he does good films. I quite like his films.
Oh, he did this film. This film was great. Yeah, you're right, he did. Yeah, Shaun of the Dead, Baby Driver. Okay, cool.
Baby Driver.
All the Simon Pegg and stuff films.
No, I think he just done Shaun. Did he do Shaun of the Dead as well? Oh, he done Shaun of the Dead. I don't know if he done Hot Fuzz.
He did Shaun of the Dead. He did Hot Fuzz.
Oh yeah, and he done the World's End. Yeah, he done the Cornetto trilogy.
Yeah, he did Space. No, when they had their TV show.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
It's good. Baby Driver's a really good film. You should watch that if you've seen it.
I haven't seen it. No.
No, it's really good. Good soundtrack.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. The next one is another game I know neither of us play. A game that when it first came out, everyone was slating it because it didn't really have any content, but it just seems to have got bigger and bigger, and a bit like Destiny, I suppose. It's grown and it's got a big fan base now. Rainbow Six Siege.
Oh yeah.
So that's coming to next gen consoles this year. It's Shadow Legacy. Call Me Zero. That's a pretty shit name. It's based around Splinter Cell's Sam Fisher. So again, another game that Sam Fisher's in, apart from his own. They won't give him his own new game. They'll just keep crowbarring him into other mobile games. Rainbow Six Siege. Like you said, you've got a feeling he's going to end up in a division.
At this stage, they've put him in every single Tom Clancy thing except for his own. The only one he hasn't turned up in yet, with a big capital Y, is Division. And I reckon the next expansion, or whatever it is for a Division 2, because they just released the tower thing where you've got the different levels, which is similar to the Hive missions in Avengers, funny enough.
Yeah.
But it sounds quite cool that they're putting a tower in Washington, or maybe it's in New York. There's two maps now, isn't there? and you just go through each level until you get to the top, which I think sounds quite cool in the Division.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if there is some mission which involves Sam Fish as well.
I think the last game they brought out, a Splinter Cell game, it didn't do very well. It was kind of like, I don't know, it just looked weird to me. Michael Ironside weren't voicing it anymore, which kind of put me off. And I didn't know if it was a prequel or a sequel, because he looked really young, but then they were saying that it's a carry-on of the other games, and I didn't really know what was going on. I never played it. The last Splinter Cell game I played was Conviction, which was absolutely fantastic. I loved it.
Sure.
So yeah, I just really wanted to see a new Splinter Cell game. Or like I said to you, remake them. But then you said Ubisoft doesn't seem to be very good at remakes. So you know,
yeah, what we've seen so far.
Yeah, I would like to have the first few, maybe the first two remade Pandora Tomorrow.
Something else. It's not just Prince of Persia. Why made me say that? Oh yeah, it was the Assassin's Creed. So when they did, but although they didn't call them remakes, they just called them a remaster. And when they did the Ezio collection, of the 1 and 2, and then Brotherhood was in the collection, and I remember just seeing the pictures of it because I really did want to jump back in, and they looked so bad. I just didn't even. I have not even played them. Yeah, because they actually looked bad. But really cool thing. Although I'm not going to play it. Obviously, it's not my. It's too like. I'm not very good at first-person shooters, as we said many times. But 4K, 120 frames, brilliant, fantastic.
Yeah,
I want everybody to do that. A little bit gutted that seems to be everybody that's doing it, like in terms of like first-person shooters, except for Destiny. It's the only shooter that I actually play. It's the only one that said they're going to do 4K 60 rather than 120.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get there eventually. But yeah, a little bit.
So the next one was Watch Dogs Legion. They announced that it's going to have Stormzy in it for some reason. And you're going to be able to play as Aidan Pierce, the guy from the first Watch Dogs, in some DLC.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, cool.
Apparently you can only get that if you pre-order like one of the special editions, though. I don't know if that's true or not, or they'll release it separately a little bit down the line. But it will probably be included like free with like a special edition. But if you don't, then you'll probably have to pay for it. But yeah,
like most things, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think
pay for it up front, or you pay for it when it comes out.
We both said that we was quite excited for this, but by now we've just kind of both fallen off, and we don't really. It's just kind of.
Yeah, the more I see it, the more I become less and less interested. I feel like it's a bit like the first Division. Remember when it looked good? They showed like the trailer and everything, like originally like the E3 trailer, and then they showed like a trailer just before it came out, and it looked like it's been completely down-resed. I feel like this trailer for it, when they were showing gameplay, I generally think it actually looks like it's been down-resed, the game. And then seeing the whole season pass thing, I'm just like, what was it with the season pass in Ubisoft? Just release a game. I don't like this whole like. Maybe it's just me and the way I play. I like to play a game, finish it, and then I feel like you need to release DLC within a month. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm done. Like I uninstall it. I'm done. I'm not going back like 6 months later to jump back into this game to play a 10-hour or 5-hour little story. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's value for money. Maybe people that buy this game and then they get a season pass. They got something all year round.
Yeah. The only game I got a season pass for was, which actually got bought for me, was what's it called? Fallout 4. And I did go back and play them. But then by the time the last one came out, like you said, I kind of moved on. So I haven't played the last expansion, which was Nuka-Cola World, which is supposed to be really good. Yeah. But I never got around to playing it because, I don't know, it's just...
it's too much, Yeah. Control. I really like Control. And I jumped in late. And yet the DLC still came out too late for me. I feel like it came out like a year later. Like almost like a year after the game. It's like... That's too long.
They're going to bring out the DLC coming out now, isn't it? For the Alan Wake stuff. That's coming out.
Exactly, that's the last part. They will bring out 2 parts. And it's like, it's too late. Like, is it 2-year-olds now? How old is that game? It's like...
Came out last year.
It came out last year. Yeah, it's just... Yeah. It's too late. I know they're bringing out the Ultimate Edition and with all the controversy of that, and you can play them all together then. But, you need to bring it out a lot closer. Same with the Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. It's my second favorite PS4 game. one of my favorite games of all time. But once again, I platinumed it, and I was finished. They brought out the DLC, and I was like, "Okay, great." I did jump in. I did play the first episode. I did all the Black Cat stuff, and I thought, great. It's like continuation. And then I got to the second one where you was playing as like a bit more as Mary Jane and stuff, and then I was just like, I'm kind of done now, because so I'm not the biggest fan of DLC when it comes to like single player story games. Obviously, games of service like a Destiny or Avengers and things like that, you can't wait to see the next content. I can't wait for whatever raid they introduce at the end of September, or Wakanda when they release that apparently. And obviously, we've got Kate Bishop being added. Obviously, you've got Clint, obviously the 2 Hawkeyes being added. And obviously, imagine the Spider-Man's going to be added. And I'm sure they're going to add some, I don't know, Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange, and, all these kind of characters that they can. There's a big roster of characters they can add. And I can't wait to jump back in just to play them characters. Yeah. But that's a different type of game, that kind of service. That.
No, it's good.
Is that the same about DLC or not?
I like single player. I'm a bit weird. I like single player DLC, story DLC, but then I download it or buy it, but then don't play it, if you know what I mean. So, I'd like a game to come out and then release story DLC, but then I don't necessarily always play it. So I like the fact that there is Spider-Man DLC. I haven't played it. I like the Fallout DLCs were good. So the Fallout 3 DLC Point Lookout was amazing. That was really good. Far Harbor DLC for Fallout 4, really good. I played a few of these Skyrim DLCs. So Dawnguard and
would you prefer a bit like what we're getting with Miles Morales, like a 1.5, but a year later they just released a separate Far Cry with all the DLC, maybe a little bit extra because I've had a little bit more time. It's a separate thing, not full price game. Obviously, maybe £30, 25, whatever. I prefer that, like getting a 1.5, like a year or 2 years later, than the DLC.
I really like Game of the Year, so I bought Witcher Game of the Year. So obviously it was cheaper because it was a Game of the Year and it had all the DLC with it. Sure. So I like Game of the Year editions, I got Skyrim Game of the Year edition, so all the DLC was in that. I know you get like the Spider-Man one there as well. So I do like them. It all depends. Like I wasn't in a rush to play The Witcher when it first came out, so I wasn't really interested. By the time I wanted to, got it in like a Black Friday sale. I think I got it for like £17, and it had obviously the whole game, all the DLC, which was a bargain. And it's hundreds of hours of game, to play.
Sure.
So I really do like a collection, like a Game of the Year collection. That's what I'm a fan of. So,
fair enough.
Yeah. And the last game was called Hyperscape Turbo Mode trailer. So it's a battle royale.
Which is already out, right?
Yeah, it's out. So I think this update comes 15th of September, so it's a couple of days' time. The turbo mode. So and that was.
Is it on consoles already? It's on consoles now, right? Because originally they put it on PC first, and then it was coming on console. Is it actually out on consoles yet?
It doesn't say on here. If I'm honest with you.
Not really keeping up with this type of game. It's not our type of game, but
we're not really into the old battle royales, are we? I know. Disappointed to hear from some people because they love them, but I dare say there's a lot of podcasts out there that focus on battle royale. So
no.
What I'm trying to say is fuck off. If you don't like it, go away. No, I'm joking.
Jesus Christ, Brent.
Yeah, I know. Sorry,
it's not me that does that.
Yeah, no, it's a battle royale. It gets to me.
It gets to you. Well, battle royale shooters. I think, it is out on consoles now.
Oh,
but
it's
go
on. They said that it's going to be like a deep dive. I don't know. I just kind of think it wasn't very long, was it? The actual presentation.
Once again, I know Ubisoft is obviously a very big company. But do you know any company? I can't think of a last Ubisoft game that never got leaked with like pictures, because obviously Prince of Persia got leaked. Like there was pictures of it, and it looked bad, and I kind of dismissed it because the pictures looked so bad. I was like, "There's no way this is what the game is. This is like they're taking pictures of like the PS2 game," and I kind of dismissed it. obviously Far Cry got leaked. Every Assassin's Creed gets leaked. Like, I don't know. I feel like that always ruins their press conferences because everything is leaked. They never have any surprises.
Yeah,
I guess that's why we know Splinter Cell's not happening because it's not been leaked. There's no leak.
And no Mass Effect either.
Exactly. Yeah. But
although there was
Splinter
that
Cell
little
gets
leak,
leaked,
wasn't it? That person reckons he pre-ordered it on game, the Mass Effect feature shit. But
he did probably buy a Mass Effect, but not what
you
he
reckon
thought.
he got it wrong. Yeah. So that was Ubisoft Forward, and then that would have been like our big. We probably would have gone into more depth with it, but with the big news of the week is, as everyone probably already knows now, is the Xbox. They finally did it. They swerved the car. They was playing chicken with PlayStation. They swerved to avoid them. And they released the price and the release date and when pre-orders will start. So
to be fair, they were forced into it. They were going to leave it until next week.
Yeah, the S kind of was more and more stuff. It was like the Titanic. It was leaking, and then they thought, "Oh, right, we just need to get on."
Yeah, I can't remember the guy's surname, but I know his name is Brad, and he was the guy that basically leaked everything. Then if he's got some kind of inside thing with
it was me.
It was you.
It was me. Yeah. So to start, the pre-orders are going to start on the 22nd of this month, so 22nd of September, and the actual consoles themselves will be released on the 10th of November. And the price, we're going to go into more, but the price of the Series X in the UK is £449, so £449, and the Series S is £249, and I think it's $449 US in it, USD, and
it's 50 more basically.
And $300 for the S.
299.
So sorry, 299. Yeah, so dollar under the free. So I think it was only a couple of weeks ago we had an episode where we were saying about Microsoft after they halted, delayed Halo. We were saying that they kind of made a bit of a mess up and should they just not release this year and launch. And now we're just kind of thinking that actually they've kind of smashed it, haven't they, really? They've done a really good, seems to be going from strength to strength.
Yeah, it's all positive. I think they've done really well. Obviously, the Xbox One launch, they kind of shit the bed with the Kinect and making £100 more. And it just kind of really killed them and they just never recovered. This time, I think they've played to their strength, which is clearly Gamepass and price. I think they've realised that they can't compete with Sony with first parties and exclusives. And it kind of just doesn't matter because I think they just realised they just can't compete. So why compete?
Yeah.
And the price, getting it under £300 is absolutely incredible. I think the storage is going to suffer, and that's clearly why they couldn't get up to a terabyte is because of that price point. And I think they thought that was more important than the storage. Obviously, there's means around it, and it's very much a first world problem because you can delete games and stuff. But I think it's great. I think everything they've said is really good. I think the all access stuff is good also, with the paying of it monthly.
We've got that on here, haven't we? So you can there's like no upfront costs, and for 2 years using the Klarna, you can pay. So it's basically going to be like a mobile phone call trick. For 2 years, you pay. I think it's $20.99 for the S, and you get Game Pass Ultimate and Xbox Live Gold for $20.99 a month for 2 years. You get the console and that, and I think it's $28.99 for the Xbox Series X for 2 years. And again, you get Game Pass Ultimate, Xbox Live Gold, and you get to, as long as you've got like an Android phone, you get to use the xCloud of that as well. So big moves, they just seem to at the minute they've definitely come out fighting, haven't they?
I think it's
really
great.
Good,
I think it's fantastic.
And when they announced as well, the holiday this year, holidays, I don't really know what holidays, I know it's an American thing, so I think it's like around Thanksgiving time. Because we just say
Thanksgiving till Christmas, 25th of November to the 25th of December.
Yeah, we just say Christmas to me. So from the holiday season this year, it said that you're also going to get EA Play. added to Game Pass.
Yep.
So now it's going to be Game Pass Ultimate. So it's going to add 60 EA games onto it, including Titanfall 2. You've got Battlefield 5 on there, FIFA 20. So yeah, it's just Game Pass.
So that's a good segue into a question. Yeah. So we got a question from John, who also DM'd us on Twitter, and he said, "With EA Play now being added, surely the Game Pass price will increase."
Yeah, it most likely will. I don't think they'll do it before it launches though, because they're going to use it as a selling point, aren't they?
Of course,
I think in the UK, the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate is $11.99, which is good anyway, considering you've got the Game Pass and Gold in that, and you can use it on PC as well. So it's really good. But yeah, with EA going into it, they're definitely going to put it up. I suppose it would be something like Netflix. I know Netflix every couple of years they put it up by like £1 or £2, don't they? So it's and I suppose if there's little incremental increases like that, you don't really notice it. I know my Netflix has gone up, but I don't never notice it's gone up. So
I think they'll announce it. I think they'll probably announce it if E3 returns. I think it'll be an announcement then, and it won't be, oh, we're just upping the price because you're getting so much value. I think they'll probably add something else to it, and it'll be like, because we're adding this is why the price is increasing. And I don't know if it'll be even something like cloud storage, or I don't know, maybe something that is like something else that they're going to pack into it. I don't know what other games they're going to do a deal with Ubisoft, and all Ubisoft games start going on Game Pass as well, because I think obviously they're marketing Assassin's Creed and all that, which is obviously related, where they changed the date, and clearly all the marketing is being pushed towards the Xbox. So maybe they're going to do a deal with Game Pass, because I don't think there's any Ubisoft games actually on Game Pass. You got an Xbox?
I've got an Xbox and I've got Game Pass, but I don't go on it very often. So
no, you can tell us.
No, I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think there's because there's not only the Far Cry's on there, because I would have played it, like Far Cry 5 if I wanted to play it, and Assassin's Creed on there, because I would have played them either. Or the last time I checked anyway. We should mention that the EA games that are going on there, it's not going to be like Game Pass. So when like FIFA 21 comes out, you don't get it. You still have to. It's just the older games. But yeah, I think it's a really big move, and like the question we had from John, it will go up, but at the minute it just seems really worth it. I was saying to you, I pay for my Xbox Game Pass and my Gold separately, but I'm gonna get the Ultimate because it actually works out cheaper. So it's
quite silly.
It's quite. I don't know why I didn't do it before, to be honest. But yeah, we've got like the stats in front of us here, because I know some of our listeners might be thinking, what's the difference between the Series X and the Series S, and what one's best for me? Yeah. We've also got a question after we go through like the stats. We've got another question. This question heavy this week, I tell you. We've gone from none to 4. So it's.
Did we have one last week? Did we have one?
Oh yeah, we had one. Yeah, we had one about your fan. I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah. No gaming question.
Yeah, people are going, which I really like it. I think it's brilliant. So yeah, it's we've got the stats here. Do you want to read them out, or do you want to take it in turns, seeing what's different and what's the same?
If you got it in front of you, you start reading.
Yeah, I've got it. So, right. So the CPU for the Xbox Series X is an 8-core AMD Zen 2 CPU at 3.8 gigahertz, 3.6 gigahertz with SMT enabled, and the Xbox Series X is exactly the same. So they've got exactly the same CPU.
Yeah. Hertz are different, aren't they? It's 3.8.
Oh, sorry. 3.6, 3.8, yeah. Okay, yeah, and 3.4 to 3.6, yeah, sorry. So, nearly identical.
It's close. The central. I think CPU stands for central or computer.
Maybe, yeah. We don't build our own PCs. We don't know these. We don't know.
I'm not totally sure, but yeah, it's just the central power of the actual console. It's nothing to do with graphics. That's the GPU. So, yeah.
Okay, and just looking, the GPU is different as well. So you've got an AMD RDNA T2, GPU 52C. this is just letters and numbers, isn't it? 52 CUs at 1.825 gigahertz for the X. Yep. And on the S, it's it's 20 CUs at 1.56 gigahertz. Yep. So again, obviously less powerful, but then it's going to be, it's a cheaper price. Now, this is the biggest one. So the GPU power, the Xbox Series X has 12.15 teraflops, and the Xbox Series S has 4. Interestingly enough, the Xbox One X actually had 6 teraflops.
Yeah.
But they're saying, I watched some videos on it, they're saying that the architecture of the S, they're going to be able to get better performance from the S than the Xbox One X.
Okay.
So obviously it's nowhere near as powerful as the X, but it's still going to be better than the One X. So
okay,
yeah,
their naming is absolutely so confusing.
It's a bit confusing.
Do you reckon No, I don't reckon it will definitely happen, because obviously they're going for price. The amount of Xbox Ones that are going to sell this Christmas rather than the Series, because someone's going to be like, I want a Xbox Series X, and then someone's just going to pick up a One X in the store, or a One S, or I feel like there's going to be some upset people at Christmas.
Yeah,
that have got one.
Yeah, Gran, you got the wrong one. Yeah. So we've got a system on a chip, SoC, custom 7mm enhanced SoC, and that's the same for both of them.
Yep.
We've got the RAM.
Whatever that means.
I don't know. The RAM, 16 gigabyte GDD 6R RAM on the X with 10 gigabyte 560 GBS, 6 gigabyte at 336 GBS on the X, and then on the S we've got 10 gigabytes of GDD R6 RAM. So obviously a little bit more than a little bit less than half. And then we've got 8 gigabytes of the 224 gigabytes S, and then 2 GB.
No one knows what any of this means.
I know.
You're just reading these numbers.
I'm reading it out, and then so basically, the RAM is higher on the X than the S. So,
just say that.
Then people might understand this one. So so you got like the 4K. So the X can produce 4K at 60 frames per second up to 120.
Yeah.
And the Xbox Series S is 1440p at 60 frames per second up to 120 frames per second. So it's not 4K. Obviously, it's going to look. If you've only got an Xbox One, but you haven't got an Xbox One X, it's going to look, because I know the Xbox One X couldn't do 4K either. It could upscale. Yeah. It's going to look. The S is going to look better than what you've got now.
So, controversial opinion, which kind of goes into another question we've got, but it's slightly different. The problem is, unless you've got a PC monitor, this is where I think a lot of people are going to get a little bit like misled. You either got a 4K TV or you've got a 1080p TV.
Yeah.
The fact that it goes up to like 1440p, that means to have the full 1440p, you've got to have a 4K TV. And if you've got a 4K TV, you're probably quite hardcore and techie. You're probably going to want a Series X to get the 4K. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
It also, like, I don't know a lot about the TV. I know you've done more research into TV as well. It also depends on what kind of hertz it outputs in as well, the TV. So
the refresh rate, you mean?
Yeah. So the refresh rate. So a lot of PC monitors obviously got a lot higher refresh rate.
Sure.
I think like the standard is like 60 now, is it, on TV? I thought like some 4K TVs is like 60. I know you can get higher, but
it depends on, so at the bottom there where it says display out, where it's got HDMI 2.1. So that is why it does 60 and then up to 120. It depends on the HDMI. It's literally just the cable and the port. HDMI 2.0, which the PS4, Xbox One has got, basically can only go up to 60.
Right, okay.
It's got nothing to do with the it's just the port. That's the only difference. And then the TV's also got to have the port. You need the TV, the cable. That is the technology. It's nothing to do with the actual machine itself.
Okay.
So yeah.
That makes it more understandable. Yeah, actually, that's it. So yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, if you've got a 4K TV, are you gonna? Yeah, what are you gonna? Yeah, you'd probably go for the X in a way. We'll smash through these the comparison, then we can go on to your question, because I've got a question about it as well.
Sure.
So the next one is the storage is on the X you got 1 terabyte SSD. On the Xbox Series X you've got a 512 SSD. Expandable storage are both of that the same. You can get a 1 terabyte expansion card. I've got a little bit more on that later as well. Backwards compatible, they're both exactly the same. So thousands of Xbox One and backwards compatible Xbox 360 original games available at launch. So that's okay. Disk drive, obviously only the X has got a 4K UHD Blu-ray player and disk drive. The S hasn't got any. Both got, as you was just saying, HDMI 2.1. And and then the price in America it will be $499 and for the X and $299 for the S, and $249 in the UK and $449 in the UK for the X. So a lot of obviously it was gonna be the S is less powerful than the X, but it's also 60% smaller. Like you were saying earlier on, the X is it's a beast, and I think that's got to do with a lot of.
I did see it on Twitter after you mentioned it, but I think it was you that mentioned it to me about the Phil Spencer thing.
Phil Spencer just in the background, just in the background on his bookshelf. It's just.
I love that.
There.
That's really cool. That little Easter egg.
Obviously, no one clocked it because it's just so small.
Yeah,
it's just laying there. Yeah.
I like that. That is cool.
I saw that. I thought it was quite good. So. That compared now, we should get on to what's best for what.
Well, I think it's a good segue into the question.
Yeah, we've got a question about it as well. So, do you want to go first, or me to go first?
Go on, you can go first.
Okay, so this is from Steve. He says from Essex, and he sent via Twitter.
Okay.
So, we got, do we think the low hard drive storage on the Xbox S will impact people buying it due to it being digital only? Which. Yeah, legitimate question, really.
Fantastic question. Yeah.
If you want to have, I know, just like yourself, you're digital only. You don't really buy physical games anymore. You want a digital console. Yeah. Lower price point.
Well, you've got no choice if you've got the Series S, have you?
Well, yeah, Series S. Well, say you all you're going to do is play on like Gamepass, and if you do buy third party games, and you're only going to buy them digital, you think, right, I'll get the S, lower price point. Yeah, it's good, but then. If you're playing that many games, like you say, you're probably going to be like a hardcore gamer, for want of a better word, and you're going to want to have the full 4K. And if you're buying all the digital games, you're going to need a bigger hard drive. So it doesn't really. It's good. I think it's really good. Like it's a low price. More people can get into it, but yeah, having the digital only console having a smaller hard drive, it just kind of. I don't know. It doesn't really seem to add up, and I actually looked to see how much.
I feel like you've answered it yourself. Actually, it kind of does make sense because the Series S is clearly for casual gamers.
Yeah,
and 500 gig. So, say like you're gonna have obviously the system, whatever updates and things like that. That's probably going to take up more like 50 gig, 100 gig. Yeah. Say you got like 400, for example.
Yeah.
Hypothetically, as actual 4 games. Games are roughly between 80 and 100 gig.
Yeah.
So you can keep 4 games on your hard drive at all times.
Yeah.
For me personally, although we're like part-time players, that's not enough. Although, come on, like, am I playing 4 games, more than 4 games at once? No. It's very much a first world problem where I want all these games on there, and I can obviously download and uninstall because of how quick broadband is these days. You can literally just download the game and it's done like. I don't know, overnight or whatever. So it's not the biggest deal. You can obviously uninstall and download. Maybe the answer is xCloud. Maybe a lot of things will be on the cloud. Maybe you won't need to be using the storage as much. Maybe they know what they're doing with xCloud, but like, we're launching this thing where it's going to be so seamless where you're streaming the game. You don't actually need the storage. Maybe we don't. Maybe it's that's the kind of thing. And also, because it's obviously the cheaper price point and it is for casual gamers, maybe they're thinking, the casual gamer's got this game for what? Call of Duty? FIFA?
Yeah, FIFA, yeah.
It's just the person who just wants to play FIFA and that's it, so.
It does, what you say, it does make sense. Because for me, if I do get an Xbox One S or X, whatever, it's going to be a secondary console. So all the big AAA third-party games that come out, I'm always going to buy them on the PS5. That's what I'm going to do. So like my Xbox now, it's a secondary console. So for me, it probably would make more sense for me to get like an S, because I don't see the point of buying an X for it to be a secondary console. And you can buy expansion cards, like 1 terabyte expansion cards for the Xbox.
And going back to memory cards, you remember like the memory cards?
Going back to memory cards, yeah. And they slide in the back, so you just plug them in. And they're currently on Amazon. When I looked at this article, anyway, that was $136.49. So it's a good price to S, £249. But then if you think that you've got to pay nearly another $149 for an extra terabyte of storage, it's That's when it starts to add up.
How much is an extra 500 gig?
It doesn't say on it. It just says there's the Seagate 1 terabyte SSD. It doesn't have the 500 gig. Yeah, so it was. They was apparently 184.99. Have come down.
Okay,
but
if you're going to pay all that, you might as well just get a Series X.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
because I think you can back up the games on a normal hard drive.
Yep.
But you can't run them off the hard drive. You have to run them off the SSD. So,
whereas
my PS4, I've only got 500 gig memory in my PS4, but I've got a 2 terabyte hard drive. Because it's the same, I can run the games off of the hard drive, so it doesn't. It doesn't matter. I've got so many games on my PlayStation now; it's unreal. But
I've got quite a few games on my phone.
It's interesting, and it's good. Thanks for the question, Steve. I think, like we said, it's kind of if you're going to get an S, you're most likely a more casual gamer, and you're only going to want it for a few games. And if you do,
I think that's what they're marketing it for. And that's why I will capitalize down on the fact that I think the PS5, and because obviously the disc and the discless version, as far as we're aware, are the same specs. That's why there will be a terabyte in both of them.
Each,
it has to be, because they're both not designed for casual gamers. They are designed for people that want to upgrade to the next gen. And that is what the Series X is for, and that is what both versions of the PS5 are for. So that's why it has to be a terabyte. That is a complete game changer for me. If the discless PS5 is 500 gig and the disc version is a terabyte, I will get the disc version. Just for that.
And not use the disc drive at all.
I've still got, what game have I got in there? Destiny 2?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's the only disc I own.
Yeah.
I haven't bought, I couldn't tell you last time I bought a disc. A long time ago.
The last time I bought a disc was Ghost of Tsushima. So, quite recent.
Years. Yeah, we're talking years. I couldn't tell you last time I bought a disc.
So that is the comparison for the X and the S. For me, I was going to pre-order a Xbox Series S, but then you said it's not really. There's no point,
Well, that goes great in hand with our question from Gary, who also DM'd us. Our fucking DMs on Twitter this week were fucking fire, mate. Fucking dated with fucking with all kind of shit.
Well, we asked people to send in questions.
I guess that's what we do when we offer them £5, right? A little incentive giveaway thing, a free PS5, which is coming out of Brad's pocket. So Gary basically wrote in and basically said, which I think is once again a very good question, who is the Series S actually for? Casual gamers? Because casual gamers probably won't be likely wanting to upgrade if they've already got an Xbox One. And hardcore gamers will clearly want the Series X. So since there's no actual exclusives on the Series line yet, will it actually sell well?
Okay.
Which is a very interesting question.
Very interesting.
Like you said, it can go both ways. Is it going to be a secondary console for a lot of hardcore gamers who are going to get a PS5 as their primary, and the Series S is going to be their secondary, the people that want all of them? I think people like that will buy it. I then think the very casual gamer that's not bothered about 4K will then buy the Series S. But then if you're in the Xbox ecosystem already, I know, obviously, you said a couple of weeks ago that they stopped manufacturing the Xbox One X. But yet they're still in the shops. So why would you not just buy an Xbox One X? If you're not bothered about 4K, you got a 1080p TV, you just want to play the best, you will just want to play Xbox games or the latest games, you can do that on the Xbox One X. And it will look great in 1080p. So is there any reason for the casual gamer to buy a Series S?
I say it's like this. I'm a prime example. I've got an Xbox One S. I can play the new games that are coming out on Gamepass on it. So there's not really much point me, because I wouldn't have bought an X. I would have bought an S. And like you say, you still can't get true 4K. So there's no point me. I might as well just hold on to like what I've got. I've got a mate who does buy, so he got the Xbox One, then the Xbox One S come out, he got that, then the Xbox One X come out, he got that. So I dare say he's going to go for the X. He's going to get the Xbox Series X now. So obviously he's like we class as a hardcore Xbox gamer, so he wants the newest one every time.
Sure.
But that's the only reason I've got my Xbox One S is because when he got his X, he sold it to me. So someone like that, they're going to go out. They're hardcore gamers. They go out, buy the X, but the S, it's true. It's very it's really it's a conundrum.
Does it also? It's like lifespan of how good it is. Does xCloud also affect it? Because if xCloud is actually really good, like it takes off like a bit more better than what Stadia's done, and you've got Android tablet or device or whatever, and you don't actually need an Xbox, you can just download the xCloud app.
Yeah.
On your Android tablet or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why would you buy
and PC as well? You get you get games
exactly.
on PC.
So I don't know. There's so many ways you can jump into the It's fantastic. Xbox has clearly been a service, and like I said a few weeks ago, when Xbox and Microsoft talk about numbers, they won't talk about how many Series X and S's they've sold, because we all know that the PS5 will outsell it.
Yeah.
History just says that it will, and also Nintendo will obviously outsell it as well with their Switch or their Switch Pro or whatever they bring out. But what they will talk about is how many active Game Pass users they've got. So it's as simple as that. Oh, we had a guest.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who the S. So the S, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, that does appeal to me. That is mine. But yeah, it's then you was like, I was just like, I'm going to buy it. Yeah, I want a new shiny toy, and then use the voice of reason. Was like, you don't need it, you don't really.
You're essentially paying. Well, if your TV can do it, well, your TV can probably do up to 60. If you got a TV that's got a HDMI port that's 2.0, you will do up to 60 frames, so you can do 1080 at 60, which you're probably getting 1080 at 30 at the moment on your current Xbox One. So you're literally spending £300 to get an extra 30 frames. And obviously nicer.
And lower memory as well.
Lower memory, extra 30 frames, and probably a quicker, faster like UI. It probably loads all the menus and the store and all those things a little quicker.
We said before, the older Xbox Ones are getting a new UI as well, aren't they? So
yeah, it just will load quicker.
Yeah,
everything will be like loading really quicker. Going back to that article right at the beginning of the show about the old Kenner thing, I think they said that they actually had like a load animation that they built, but the PS5 loads so quickly, it's no point having it. It literally just loads instantly. But he said it takes like I think like 1 or 2 seconds to literally be from the menu to in the game.
Jesus.
And he said it's not even in suspension. It's literally like booting the game.
Yeah.
It takes less than 2 seconds. So they had this whole loading screen, and they said it just went from one to the other. It was like, oh, well, this.
Yeah. I remember.
I think it's fantastic. I think that's one of the things that we're going to really like take for granted next gen. Is especially with Avengers, which has got egregious load times.
What was I say? I remember back on the PS2 game era with the Grand Theft Autos. When you went to a different island, it used to load. You know, when you used to try and go to a different island, it used to load up then. So, and Mass Effect had the lift, like the lift animations when using a lift or elevator. That was a loading. He's loading in the background, and he was just standing, not doing anything, just. Sometimes, obviously, loading sequences can be good if they're done well, because sometimes they give you a bit of story background. Like, I think God of War did it. Like a bit of what was it called? What's the word I'm thinking of? I can't think of it. Yeah, like lore and just background. So sometimes it was even.
I don't ever remember that in God of War. I thought God of War was quite well known. The fact that they had no load screens in the entire game. I think that was like one of their actual like technical things they'd actually achieved, was that the fact you could play from the beginning, from when you press X and he's like cutting the wood.
Yeah.
The end thing when obviously you're doing the ashes. That's spoiling, and I'm going to spoil. But there is not one load screen, providing obviously you don't die.
Yeah. Okay, I must have been thinking about a different game. Sorry.
I think what a great game is the Arkham games. Though when you got the villain that killed you and he's there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think they're quite cool. That's quite a cool little
load screen. I'm trying to think of there's another one. I feel like there's another one that does a similar thing, and you've got like some kind of like I don't know, concept art and stuff, and it's like going around. I think Ghost of Tsushima has like little, like they normally have little tips going at the bottom.
Little tips, a
few games do that. I mean, it's like quite a lot of games do that. So yeah.
But yeah, it's the Xbox. I'm really impressed, to be honest, with what they've revealed. I think they're doing quite well, especially with the Game Pass. Like you say, if you want, you can buy an an S for the lower price point, get Game Pass, and you've just got so many good games to choose from already, and all the new exclusives are going to go on there, and then you got EA games going to be added. It's consumer friendly. We've said it before. It's very, and then you also get access to xCloud as long as you've got a tablet, an Android tablet or phone to play it on. Hopefully iOS will come at some point, down the line. Yeah, it's just impressive that they've come back fighting. They definitely have pulled it out of the bag.
Yeah, it will come eventually, I reckon. So the one mistake I think they've made.
Okay, yeah, you said this, didn't you? Yeah, mistake.
Yeah, and I'm going to say it now. And I predicted, and I think I said it last week on the podcast, that obviously Xbox was originally going to do their conference like the week coming. Obviously now PlayStation's doing. I think Sony were going to do it the week after, like I said. I think that's how it was originally going to be done if this leak didn't happen.
Yeah.
Obviously, PlayStation are now doing it this Wednesday, so I think they've pushed it up a week. I think the one mistake Xbox have made is that they've not opened pre-orders until the 22nd.
Yeah.
That is crazy. They had to do it either that day or the next day, just like they're open. Pre-order
Go for
now.
it, yeah, do it, yeah.
If I was Sony, I would undercut that. They've got their conference on the 16th. Open the pre-orders that day, the 18th. If they've got a whole weekend where people can order a PS5 and they cannot order an Xbox.
Yeah.
That is massive, and it is such a fuck up.
Yeah.
If I was Sony, I'll be like, fucking yes, we're opening the pre-orders on the 18th. Like, why would you not? This was the game.
I don't know. Yeah, I wonder why it is.
It wasn't about the
22nd.
Release date. I think it was about the pre-order date. What day is Xbox going to open their pre-orders? Because we're going to do it first.
Okay, so you're saying that they won the game of chicken, maybe?
Well, they're going last.
Yeah.
If they're playing a game of chess and they know that it opens on the 22nd, which is Monday, not this Monday, the Monday after.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
I don't know what. Maybe I'm a bit ignorant. Clearly, I am. But why does it need to wait that long?
No, Monday. The 22nd is a Tuesday.
Is it a Tuesday?
Yeah.
So the 16th is obviously Wednesday when they do. I would 2 days later, the Friday, 18th, PlayStation.
Yeah.
Just open your pre-orders. You've got a whole weekend. Yeah, do it.
Yeah, no, makes sense.
No?
Yeah, I've not thought of that. To be fair, yeah, I've not even thought of that. But yeah, it's
as a business thing. If they don't capitalize on that, that's such a fucking stupid. Like maybe there's a reason why they have to wait so long. But to me, if you're just placing an order, you're not. Obviously, it's not coming till November. To me personally, I don't know why you can't get a website set up where someone just clicks a button and they've ordered something.
Yeah, maybe it's to do with obviously third-party retailers as well, because obviously you're going to be able to reserve the games over in the UK anyway. I think you can reserve them in Game and Smith's Toy Shop and Argos. I think maybe some places like that. So maybe it's got something to do with our retailers that they. Yeah, so I reckon it might have something to do with like the third-party retailers maybe.
Maybe. But I feel like third-party retailers, if they told them like beforehand, we're doing a reveal today.
Okay, yeah,
get ready. The pre-orders on the 18th. You've got 2 days. Or maybe to them beforehand, you've got a week to update your website to add a pre-order button. I'm not a technical architect, but that surely can't be difficult.
We know the retailers as well. They sometimes have these set up first because they accidentally leak them, and that's how people find out about games coming out.
I reckon Amazon knows.
Yeah. So, it's great. Really impressed with Xbox. Looking forward to Wednesday with Sony. Like I said, it didn't actually say they was going to announce the release date and pre-orders for the PS5 and the price, but you got to think they've got to. So
they will, and they'll. I hope. Not a hope. I don't really. Well, I want it sooner rather than later, but I kind of hope that someone at Sony has got business brain. I'm sure they've got more business brain than me, but I feel like that's such an easy win is to open the pre-orders first. And I think that is the game of chicken they were doing. I don't think it was about the release date, the price. I think all that was locked in. It was about what day is Microsoft opening their pre-orders. And they've just made this massive open window. I know it would have been, obviously they plan to do it like this week coming, and they've done it for Monday, so they haven't changed the date really. So I guess that window is like they've revealed it earlier than they wanted to. So they clearly did want a shorter window. But with them revealing it early and not changing the pre-order date, it's now Sony to then sweep on their fucking horse, bring it in a week early, change their pre-order date, hopefully. If I was ahead of Sony, I'd be going mental making sure it's the 18th. Do whatever you can to make it that. It's one of them, like documentary where you see that Steve Jobs going mental with like Apple, like you have to do this. If I was a Sony executive, I would go mental to make sure it's the 18th.
With your theory then, when we record next week, you could have your pre-order in for your PlayStation. You could come on like, Billy Big Balls and be like, hey, listen, I've got it pre-ordered. It's come in, it's done. It could be flexing.
I'm not. I will say, I will pre-order day one, but I'm not going to be like, I've definitely got it because, like I said before, I don't imagine other retailers can do it, but I know Amazon do it. They will just let you pre-order it even if they've run out. And you could get an email saying, sorry, we sold too many, you actually haven't made the cut.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pre-order it, but whether or not I still get one, I might not. We'll see. But I will pre-order it.
Okay. Yeah, sweet. Well, I think that's it for the Xbox talk.
It was a very in-depth episode. I think we've covered everything pretty much.
A deep dive,
The only thing we haven't mentioned is about the look. What do you think of the Series S, what it looks like?
I think it's good. I think it's good. I don't mind that it's got like the vent on the side. I know some people said it looks like a walkie-talkie, but I think it looks all right. But also, I'm a fan of the X as well. I think I much more prefer the look of the X and the S over the PlayStation 5. I think the PlayStation 5 looks a bit shit. Like with the fan, like the flares and the
I don't like it.
I don't really like it.
Like you said it as well with the shadows and things of like
it looks black. It looks a lot better black
because you can kind of then imagine what it would look like if it was black.
Yeah,
and it looks so good. Like I
don't like the white.
I just don't like the colouring. It's too flary. I don't know. It's over designed, isn't it? So But
the look.
I don't mind it. It's great. If you go onto IGN, because that was one of the things that we posted in there, it actually has like all the consoles stacked up, like the old consoles, and you can actually see how chunky the Series X actually is. Like if anybody hasn't seen it, you need to have a look at it before you order one of these, because that thing will not fit in my TV unit. It is so chunky. I look at my TV unit right now, and I can see my Pro. I don't know if I could fit another Pro on top of like the Pro I've got.
Yeah,
I feel like maybe I could fit a normal PlayStation 4 and the Pro, but that's how like deep actual, where the Series X is like, I don't know, it's so thick. It's
my TV unit. I can't even have my dock in my Switch in a dock standing up. So if I want to play the TV, I have to put it out. So
same as that. It'll be on top of the unit, probably behind a TV. That is the size of these things. Although the fact that it's big and if it's quiet, I think I'd rather a quiet machine and be chunky than something that was a bit more skinny and looked nice and it was really loud. So I guess it's clearly for ventilation, so it's for a reason. But I quite like. I like how small the S is actually. It's very very nice.
Yes, very nice. And if you got any, if you do. I know by this time, you've got any other questions about the Xbox and, or the upcoming PlayStation event, just drop us a DM in Twitter or Gmail or Facebook.
Please write in about that, because that'll definitely be what we'll be talking about next week.
Today.
So,
definitely.
So, like all the lovely people did today or this week or the previous week, whatever.
What's the next segment? Is the next segment... is it this day in gaming? I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah. It's what the guys have been waiting for all this time. They've stuck with us for 2 hours for this. So yeah.
Yeah, they don't care about the Xbox. They just
Although
want
I think
this day in gaming.
we did skip one thing for the Xbox. Actually, I just saw was that the Xbox is going to be the first console to have a Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos.
Okay, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Which I guess is big-ish news, I suppose. It's just
you look at that on that link you sent me. The comparison does look really nice. It does look impressive, like the side by side with the Dolby and without it. Yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah, it just takes it to that next level of like HDR and the colouring and the contrast and things like that. But I suppose unless you've got a Series X and you've got this fantastic, what is that game that they're showing the car that's driving? That ain't Cyberpunk, is it?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
I was going to say that looks absolutely incredible. But yeah, unless you've got a Series X and you've got some fantastic TV, like a fantastic OLED TV or new QLED TV, it's probably meaningless.
Yeah, exactly.
You need all the technology to
you need all the peripherals to with it as well, don't you? Yeah. So.
Probably surround sound system for the. Do you know what I mean? You need all this equipment just for it to actually benefit from it. But yeah, great stuff. They've got it supported, so fantastic. I'm sure. Be interested to see if the PS5 has it as well. Yeah,
no, really good. Okay, so back to this day in gaming.
This day in gaming.
Okay, let's jingle. Let's applied by Reese. It's different every week.
I don't know. Yeah,
we'll
mix it up.
Maybe. One of our listeners will make us a jingle one day and send it in to us so we can put it on.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll eventually get a good one day. If we keep trying, I feel like it's like trial and error.
Trial and error,
Although I have to say, each week is a bit like steep. It's just going downhill. It's
yeah. No, we're getting stronger. We're getting stronger. That's right.
Yeah, so that was pretty shit.
This week, there was 2 games. So at first I thought, so as a little honourable mention, I saw that Maniac Mansion got released on the NES back in the 1988 on the 13th of September. So the day we're recording, so today. Maniac Mansion, me and my brother used to play on the NES, and we didn't really get what you had to do. It was made by Lucasfilm Games, and it's a 2D scrolling adventure puzzle game where you was like teenagers and you went into this creepy old mansion to investigate what was going on, and there was like some sort of weird like aliens because an asteroid crashed, and like the family were just like a bit weird, and if you got caught you got thrown in a dungeon, you had to try and rescue people and you had to solve puzzles. So that was what I was going to talk about, so that's a little mention there. But actually back in 1985, so 35 years ago, on the 13th of September in Japan on the NES was released. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. A little game called Super Mario Brothers. Mario Bros. Ever heard of it?
No.
I think it's a little indie game. It's got a little indie following. So now, obviously, it's one of the most iconic games to ever come out. And 35 years on, it's still fun to play. It's still enjoyable. I've got it on my Switch, and I play it every now and again. It's so much fun. And obviously after the video game crash, when everyone was just flooding the market with all these poorly made games and there was no kind of control, Nintendo, when they come in with their seal of approval, you had to get approved for it to go onto one of their systems, and that's when it started getting obviously better quality control, decent games come out. And Mario is just is the godfather of the games, really, isn't it? It's fantastic. And obviously,
I think why it's so big, and because of my age kind of thing, I kind of missed out on the nostalgia thing with it. And I know obviously I'm not saying they're not great now, but that's why I feel like when I kept saying I want to get into like a 3D Mario game, and because I don't have that nostalgia for it, I've tried. I've played so many Marios to try to get in. I just can't. I don't know, because I just don't have that nostalgia. But yeah, no, it's a classic, isn't it? Really,
it's a complete. I think it was the first game I ever played was Super Mario Bros. So it was released in the UK a couple of years later. So it released on the 15th of May 1987. Okay. For obviously on the NES. But what can I say? Super Mario Bros. just iconic, fun game. Still fun to play now. Yeah, love it. So that was List Day in Gaming today.
Yeah,
I didn't see how much it was. I don't know if you can buy it. Always you say you can buy it, how much it is on eBay. So I know some of the next prices.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Well, I'm going to have a look.
You can play it on the Switch. Like, don't.
£21. £21.
Yeah, don't.
But for me, I've got a NES, so I'd like to build my NES catalog up because at the moment I've only got Super Mario Brothers 3 and McDonald's Kids. So,
so what port like does it have for the TV, and can you still use it?
I think it's not SCART. It's actually I don't know. I can't remember.
Can you even plug it in?
Yeah, I can plug it in. Yeah, I plugged it. The TV I use for my it's in storage at the minute, but the TV I use for my PS4, I used to play it on that. So yeah, you can. It takes a couple of taps on the top of it to get it to actually, start. And then you're in.
That's retro.
So that was this week's This Day
Far
Gaming.
more accessible. Just play it on the Switch.
If you're retro, you kick it old school like me.
Was that? I know, obviously, it was only last week we spoke about it, but is that one of the games that's getting that re-enhancement?
No, it's yeah, I think it is. They're re-releasing on a Game & Watch. One of the actual free games. No, it was Galaxy Sunshine and
not the 3D collection. I'm not talking about the. I'm talking about the normal All Star. They did two.
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was. It was 1, 2, and 3. I think.
Yeah,
and because we said you can get them all on. You can already get them all on Switch. With the online subscription. So. Yeah,
I think, but isn't that the version that's getting the upgrade? No,
well, it must be. Yeah, because that is the game that is the one that's 35 years old. So, yeah. Are you looking
at a new release that they're releasing?
Checking it out. Oh, Reese is googling. He's trying to find it.
I'm scrolling to the last week's news.
He's scrolling.
I'm looking. Fill the air with something.
Let me have a look. I've got it on here as well. This is really interesting for the listeners. They're really.
Oh, no. This is why they're here.
Yeah.
Super Mario Bros. Lost Levels.
Okay, so it is. Yeah. Super Mario Bros. And then Super Mario Bros. 2: The Lost Levels was number 2, but it only ever got originally released in Japan.
Yeah. So, this is what I was thinking. Well, Super Mario All Star, the original Super Mario All Star, is available today. September the 3rd on the Super NES, like the online collection, which is the version we were talking about, and it's been enhanced 16 meg graphics with the collection. Yeah, and it is the Super Mario Bros, Super Bros, Lost Levels, Bros 2, Bros 3. Yeah, it's been enhanced right now.
Oh, okay.
So you might as well just play the enhanced version on the online collection on your Switch.
Or if you can get it, on eBay for £21 for the NES. So this is what the people want to know. They want to know. So
not many people have still got one lying around like you, Brad. I have to be honest.
Well, I actually bought it. My original one, I don't know what happened to it. I actually went out and bought it. It's 50 quid.
Oh, is it one of the mini ones that they released a few years ago?
No, one with the cartridge, an old school one. From back in the 80s. Yeah, love it.
Wow, you've got a little collection. That's why it's in storage. You're not allowed.
Not until I get my own house again. Yeah, it's just. But yeah, that was this week's in gaming.
Okay, it was a good one. Very good one.
Yeah,
classic game. Let's wrap it up with what we've been playing and watching. So, do you want to kick off? What have you been doing in this last week, Brad?
I haven't been playing anything.
Okay, nice.
I did watch the latest
gaming podcast. Fantastic.
Yeah, I know.
Great stuff.
I did watch the latest episode of The Boys. So we are gonna be spoiling this. If you haven't seen episode 4 or any of the other episodes so far, stop listening now because you're about to get spoiled.
Yeah. And episode 3 because we never spoke about because you never saw it.
Okay, yeah, and episode 3, yeah. So basically, if you ain't up to date with The Boys on Amazon, just stop listening. Just stop listening now, please. And if you don't come back, goodbye. Thank you for listening. No.
I was going to say we could put a little time so you can.
Yeah,
but this will be the end. We'll just be doing our socials and goodbyes after this. So
yeah.
Thanks for sticking around for this long. But yeah, go on. What What do you think of the episode 3?
Episode 3, obviously the WoW scene was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
And the whole Stormfront going through and just murdering innocent people, just for the fun of it, by the looks of it.
Yep.
And then blaming it on obviously a supervillain, as they call it.
Yeah, super terrorist.
But she just seems like an absolute bitch. And then in episode 4, it turns out she was she was back in the 60s.
Yeah, so she hasn't aged.
She hasn't aged, and she's like she seems to be some sort of like racist nutcase. Mm-hmm. I think the way they, the way they get that progressing that character, and like she's kind of taking the limelight off Homelander is interesting. And it also turns out that he has got some proper issues. That guy, he's really.
Oh, did you only just work that out? From
I worked it out, but
yeah.
it really
Jesus
comes to
going back to before we do a little bit more of a deep dive into episode 4. Do you know what I'm talking about with the wrist snapping now?
Yeah, Kamiko's brother just snapped him up. Yeah, and
Jesus, that. Yeah, brutal, like I said last week, that I'm not a person to go, but that actually made me out loud just go. It was just a snap. It was absolutely brutal.
I really didn't like it when they went into the WoW, because it was just like moaning and you could hear it like dying. And
you still see the heart going.
And inside, it was just
the deep is I quite like him this season. It's quite funny just seeing him in this like little like religious cult, like whatever's going on with his lady. And episode 4 with the little interviews, there were some of the funniest things, and my favourite one was the woman that had Ed Sheeran.
I laughed out loud. I hate Ed
Sheeran. It actually made me laugh out loud. Like it was actually like
made me get this. Yeah, when she pulled her sleeve up and he's just got.
He looks more like Harry Potter than it does Ed Sheeran as well, with the round glasses. It's actually really funny.
It's really. I kind of wish they was all out the episodes, but I do. It is something to look for. You've got something to watch every week, so. That is maybe one of the only things I will go away to watch every week. Yeah,
we watch it every Friday, and then each week will be a good thing. We'll do probably the same with The Mandalorian when that comes out. I'm sure that will be weekly like they did before. So, we'll probably do a little spoilers at the end of each episode of when we've watched it. So, episode 4 is great. It's like you said, it's kind of, we're watching Homelander slowly become a sociopath to like even more psychotic than what he already was, which you didn't think was possible. But the whole, I was a little bit confused. Obviously, I can't remember what the character's name. The one he obviously kills, and he's obviously got the shapeshifter.
Oh, doppelganger.
Yeah, doppelganger is actually. Oh, what is her name? What is the woman's name? Blonde woman.
Yeah, I can't remember. It's like.
I can't remember now. Anyway, moving on. We both know what we're talking about. I'm sure the listeners do as well if they have to watch the episode. That whole scene was confused. First of all, I thought this was a dream or some kind of fantasy. Yeah. And the whole thing with the milk and I don't know. The guy is just really. I don't know.
Yeah, because I knew he had problems. I was thinking, maybe she didn't die, but then thinking back, she got her skull burnt out from the outside and then blew up. So I was like, well, no, she's definitely dead.
Yeah, she died like 4 times.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out what her name is. Madeline Stillwell. Stillwell. Madeline Stillwell.
Yeah, they call her Stillwell all the time, don't they? Yeah. So that character, she's clearly some weird fetish mothery figure. He's. I just find him, obviously someone doing a psychology degree, I just find that character really, really just fascinating, and watching him as the episode progressed, him slowly, like you said, get more and more ticked off with Stormfront. Yeah. And I really, when she was doing that little speech outside, and I thought that he was watching her on TV and he was going through all of that, the memes and things like that, and he was getting himself out.
Yeah.
I honestly thought he was just going to fly out and just grab her and they were going to have some kind of fight. I don't know. Obviously, he's the strongest and he would destroy her. But I actually want him to have like someone that actually like fight him, because obviously no one, everybody's actually terrified of him.
It's like I said last week, you do get, he's a sociopath, and you get he's so powerful. He's scary because you wouldn't be able to stop him. Like when he had Starlight in the lift, and he's like putting his like hand up under a rib cage, and like he's like, shit, it's just.
Yeah. When he first did that, and his hand started going down, I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, where's he putting that?" I was thinking,
he's going to try and pull her insides out for her ribs. I think. And another character I really like, you don't really know a lot about, was Black Noir. So that girl was, she was just.
That's
the
a
woman
funny scene as well.
Yeah, the woman was eating that candy bar, and he just held the bin out, like, so she had to throw it away, and then he just sat down with her, and he gave her a note, and it was like a child had written it, like Butcher, scribbled, and it's just
we'll find him, and then just sits there. So we can just find him now.
And he just sits down.
He just sits there, and then
because obviously you don't really know what
Red Bulls later, they finally find him.
You don't really know what his powers are, and he's just a bit
really regen, because obviously the beginning scene where that super terrorist villain or whatever, he blows up.
I know there's a twist in the comic, and I didn't want to know, but I found out. So I won't tell you because I don't want to spoil it for you or the listeners. But it's a brilliant character. Yeah, I like Black Noir. And then like again, because like when they all found out they had Compound V, he was in the corridor as well, wasn't he? That was in episode 3. He was like in the corridors crying. So it's
clearly affected him or whatever in some way. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see him a little bit more in that action. I'm sure we will in coming episodes, because clearly he's going to be going to the compound or wherever, like obviously Homelander's son and his wife is held. He's clearly going to go there. Yeah, and then clearly he's going to kick off, because obviously he doesn't know who they are, and I reckon Homelander's son is probably going to fight him of some sort with his lasers or whatever, and clearly because he can regenerate, he clearly will be able to take it, like the kind of hits. So it will be interesting. But it was a very, very, very good episode.
Very good. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to the next one.
It was such a good show.
Yeah, really good. And when they're singing in the car, and Mother's Milk just turns the radio off and was like, "We're not on a date." I'm not sure.
No, it's great. I feel like we're overdue, very, very overdue, for a big character to die. Yeah. I feel like that's the one thing the show is not. I feel like it's just like a real big character that you're quite like. I feel like they're just going to die.
It's really like this season's building, because obviously Mother's Milk's dad had something to do with was a lawyer, and Voight just kind of destroyed him. And then the Frenchman, he was saying about he trying to save the children for the old member of the Seven Lamplighter. He must have killed he killed the woman that the woman who Butcher is working with. Her grandchildren got burnt to death by the Lamplighter, didn't they? So obviously he's messed up about not having to save them, and getting all this backstory, Kamiko's backstory as well, and I
think he's going to be played. Lamplighter is going to be in this season, and I think he's actually going to be played by another guy that played Iceman in the X-Men.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
That actor, I think he's going to be.
I know one of them, Jensen Ackles, I think it is, from Supernatural. He's going to play a character next season.
Okay.
I can't remember what character it is, but he's going to be in it. Yeah, because Eric Kripke, the producer, I think he's the producer or showrunner of The Boys. Always used to do the Supernatural series, so they're kind of joining. And Bobby as well. He was in Supernatural. He was in the first episode of this series. I think it was
it's really cool that they're expanding it, and with it so popular, obviously Amazon's got so much of a budget. The show is going to be absolutely
brilliant.
I'm just really excited to see all the seasons that they're going to do with it, because I think it's been greenlit for the next season 3, 4, I think, and 5. I think have been greenlit. Okay. It's so popular, so they just know they got a winner, and I really hope that the Lord of the Rings
is going to be good as well.
TV show that they're doing is going to be really good, because obviously, if it's a hit and with the budget that they've got, it could be massive, and being a prequel or whatever. So man, can't wait.
Excellent. Yeah.
All this stuff. Good stuff.
And episode 5 next week. So stay tuned.
We'll do a little thoughts on that. Yeah, I watched that. The only game I've been playing. Oh no, I played 2 games actually. I've played obviously Avengers still. I'm still playing that. Still very much got all the same hooks. Obviously, feel the same about it as I did last week. Obviously, when I did my review, I'm enjoying the game a lot. Obviously, the game has got issues that it needs to, obviously, with bugs and things, and it has done some patches and things, and it has improved. A bit like what I said earlier about DLC, and I think the problem the Vision suffered with is how long it took to bring out its first post content. And I really hope they bring something out at the end of this month, because if they leave it to like the end of October, like, do you know what I mean? Like they leave it a few months.
Yeah.
You will run out of things to do, and they need to start adding things to it. Like it's very much like with all these games, everybody has some criticism. It's a bit like when they called it like Vanilla Destiny and the original Division. It's like the base game has got like a bit of meat there, but then after a while you do run out of things, and you are doing the same things. And I am getting very, very close to being like I'm doing the same things now. Yeah. But yeah, I've done my second character. I'm playing as Black Widow this week. I don't really much enjoying her. I know you mentioned the other day when we had a little chat about how I was shitting on her before the game launched, and I was completely wrong. She might be one of the best characters to actually play as. She actually because she's got all the fighting skills. She's actually generally an actual good fighter, so it's actually fun to play as her because she can like do a move called the whiplash, like she does in like Iron Man 2, where she grabs the guy around the neck and spins him around, and she can counter. And she's got her she's got a lot of good moves, and she's got a grapple gun, so you can grapple to an enemy and fly towards them, and she's very acrobatic. So it kind of makes me excited for Spider-Man, because Spider-Man's obviously also going to be very acrobatic and obviously swinging in the webs, and I can see playing as her, I can see how Spider-Man will play. She can even swing and stuff. So yeah, it's very easy. And the other game I jumped back into was Final Fantasy VII Remake, because I played it and was absolutely loving it, and I never actually finished it, but I'm right at the end. And people that have beat it, I've got a few friends that have played and beat it. I said where I was, and they said, "Mate, you're right at the end. Like all you got to do is play it, put a couple more hours in it, and you finished it." Yeah. So I was like, "All right, let's just jump back in. Let's get it finished, and then I can just delete it off my hard drive." Yeah. Because I didn't want to delete it, because I did actually want to finish it. Yeah. But like I said earlier, I wish I had the nostalgia as well to go with it, because this is the first Final Fantasy game I've ever played. I know it's such a big franchise. Yeah. And I've always wanted to play one. So I'm like, why? Like, a bit like, obviously, I've got like certain games that I always wanted to get into. Like, Mass Effect was one of them that I always wanted to play, which I still haven't. And I will do if they do ever do the collection. And Final Fantasy is one of them. Mario, obviously, I've played Mario games, but I always wanted to like get into it, because obviously it's such a big franchise. And Bioshock, sorry. I always made that mistake. Bioshock was another one which I finally did when they released the collection, because I always missed out because it was originally on 360. But yeah, no, the game is fantastic. It's like when you see the trailers, because I'm sure you've seen the trailers like E3 and stuff, and then like when it does like the cinematic training, it looks fantastic, and you're watching like this almost like anime movie. I like anime anyway. And then all of a sudden you're watching this thing, you're like, oh wow, this looks absolutely incredible. And then all of a sudden the camera just turns, and you're now playing, and it doesn't like it doesn't cut. You're like, wow, holy shit, this is the actual game. Like that moment when the camera turns, he like does a flip, and he comes off the train, and the camera turns, and you're then just playing. You're like, wow, there's a really impressive moment. It's like, wow, this game is incredible.
I will get around to playing it, yeah, 'cause it does look quite good. So I will get around to playing it at some point. I've got a big, obviously, backlog of games. This week I am going to start. I know I said I was going to start last week, but this week I am going to start Days Gone. But,
you and false promises. Like,
I know, yeah.
I need to go back and listen to some of the old episodes, because about the games I think you said you're going to play.
Yeah.
Has it ever happened? I feel like none of them have ever happened.
I said I'd complete Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us, and I did.
Okay, well, they were reviewing the main topics. So I don't think that counts to be
but I will start it this week. This work's been a bit busy, you know. So
busy,
yeah.
Okay, no. Back at work now.
Well, no, I'm still working from home. So.
No, I mean, like last week you was obviously on holiday, wasn't you? So.
Oh yeah. No, this week I've actually got to do a full week, which I'm not looking forward to. So.
Oh yeah, this week was I feel like it's the first time I've done a full week for a while.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it.
Because I think the week before I booked the Friday off because of the bank holiday, and obviously then you had the Monday. Yeah. So it was like back-to-back weeks where I had like a 4-day week, and then doing a 5-day week all of a sudden. Yeah.
It's horrible.
I was kind of, I don't know what day it was, either Wednesday or Thursday, like just before I was going to bed, I was like brushing my teeth. And then when you just think to yourself, is it a Wednesday or is it a Thursday? Because I really hope it's a Thursday. And then when you're not sure, Wednesday, and then I looked at the clock and I was like, oh, it is a Thursday. Thank God for that. Because I don't think I could do 2 more days.
No. So yeah, I've got that to look forward to, a full week of work. But yeah, our start day is gone. Obviously, boys on Friday, and then watching the conference on Wednesday for PlayStation, 9 p.m.
We've got a week of conferences actually. We've got obviously Cyberpunk is on the Friday coming up, so we'll talk about that as well. We've got another Night City Wire, where I think they're talking about different factions, or they're doing another deep dive into the game. Is so deep, it's just more Cyberpunk. So if there's anything to cover, I'm sure there will be. We'll cover it here.
Yes,
place to obviously get the latest news, and something that's not gaming, which obviously we won't cover, but something that I am very much interested in. Being an Apple fanboy, is the Apple September event, as they always do every September. This Tuesday. So put it in my little calendar, got my little invite. It's so cool, like Apple. They did the invite, and their logo that they got for it is in like AR. So when you accept the invite, obviously you can see the logo like as AR, like in the air, is where you are.
Yeah.
Just don't
know.
A new iPhone, Apple Watch, and things like that will be announced. So I like watching it.
I won't be tuning in for that. So.
I tune into every Apple conference. Every year.
Apple fanboy. You don't see me going on about Apple all the time. So
I fully admit I'm an Apple fanboy. With all my Apple stuff, I don't think. You have all their stuff. You buy all their stuff. You just don't watch their.
I don't watch the conference. But thanks for listening, everyone, this week again. And thanks for everyone who sent in questions. And if you want to be
one of the lucky.
One of the special few sending a question. You can do it by DM at Twitter, so at PTPlayerspod, Gmail PTPlayerspod@gmail.com. Facebook is Part-Time Players Podcast. Any one of them, send a message through. We'd love it if you'd like and subscribe and leave a nice review, like 5-star review on whatever platform you get your podcast. Like Reece said earlier on, I think we're across most of them now. So. Wherever you get it, please subscribe and like.
And if we're on one that you actually want, then just DM
just let us know.
And tell us, and it's no biggie. We can just port it over.
That's a good way of letting us know if you do want a specific platform. Just let us know and we can see if we can add it on there. And thanks for listening. Thanks for getting in touch, and appreciate it.
We do very much appreciate it. Yeah, we're glad that we're growing each week and week. We're building. And we're building to be one day, hopefully, the greatest podcast in the world, and we'll be number one on the charts. But
we've got
a long way from that. But
we've got our recurring list downloads from Virginia in the US. So US, thanks to the Virginian listeners, and we've got a few in
Virginian. I don't know why you call it
Virginian. Well, I reckon that's what they're called. Let us know if it is Virginian. Let us know. We've got a couple in Texas as well, so we've got some Texans. We've got our.
This is why you're banned from the US, obviously.
That's what I'm pretty sure that's what. And we've got our followers from the UK, so our home country, group of countries. So
what are they called? UKers? UKians?
UKians, yeah.
UKians,
yeah.
This is just embarrassing. Let's go before.
They're called British. That's what they're
called.
Okay.
Okay, so they're people that are from the state Virginia are just not called American.
They could be Americans, but
why not? Okay.
So people from California, they're known as Californians, aren't they? So.
Fine, fair enough. Yeah, I guess it's such a big country. You identify by your state rather than your country.
Yeah,
I guess we just identify by the country because it's so tiny.
But thanks for everyone. Thanks for everyone who listens, and
thank you, and hopefully PS5 reveal, and they open the pre-orders 18th. Hopefully this time when we do episode 15, I will have a PS5.
Yeah,
I will have a PS5. Until next week. Thanks guys. Bye.
Speak to that. Bye.